You hired good people, you trained them, and you still walk through your own clinic and find the same things undone. Charts not closed, prior authorizations sitting in a pile, patients who never got called back. So you fix it yourself again, and you go home thinking you have a people problem. In almost every practice I look at, that is the wrong diagnosis. I am a practicing vascular surgeon, and I own a multi-location vein practice. In the next 10 minutes, I am going to walk through why staff stop doing what you asked, in the exact order the causes show up, and what to change this week so the work happens whether or not you are standing there. And I want to be clear about what this is not. This is not a video about being tougher on your team, and it is not a video about firing your way to a better clinic. Start with a hard question. If you replace this person tomorrow with someone equally competent, would the same task fall through again? If the answer is yes, the problem is not the person. It is the system they are working inside. Firing is expensive. In a clinical environment, you are not just replacing labor. You are replacing licensure, credentialing time, and patient relationships. Before you spend that money, you owe yourself an honest look at the 4 reasons work does not get done. In order, they do not know it is theirs, they do not know what good looks like, they are blocked, or they know nothing happens if they skip it. Only one of those 4 is actually a people problem. I have watched owners replace the same role 3 times in 2 years and get the identical result each time, which is about as clear a signal as you will ever get that the seat is broken, not the person sitting in it. Because 1, nobody owns it. Ask 3 people in your office who is responsible for making sure every patient who cancels gets rescheduled. If you get 3 different answers or a pause, you found it. Shared responsibility is no responsibility. 2 medical assistants who both sort of handle referrals means referrals get handled on the days both of them are calm and neither of them is out. The fix is not a meeting, it is a list. Every recurring task in your practice gets exactly 1 name next to it. Not a department, not a shift, 1 human being who would be embarrassed if it did not happen. Do that exercise for the 10 tasks that actually keep the doors open. Scheduling, referral intake, prior authorizations, chart closure, collections follow-up, inventory, room turnover, reviews, recalls, and the daily deposit. 10 lines, 10 names. Most owners cannot fill it out on the first try, and that gap is the most useful thing they will learn all month. Cause 2, they do not know what done looks like. You said follow up with the patient. In your head, that means a call within 24 hours, a second attempt the next day, a text if there is no answer, and a note in the chart either way. In their head, it means 1 call, no answer, move on. Neither of you is lying, you just never wrote the standard down. A standard is not a policy binder, it is 3 lines. What triggers it, what the steps are, and how you know it is finished. If you cannot write it in 3 lines, you do not understand the task well enough to delegate it yet. Write the standards for your 5 highest volume tasks first, because those are the ones where a small gap repeats hundreds of times a year. Cause 3, they are blocked and they stop telling you. This is the one owners miss most. The scheduler cannot confirm the appointment because she needs an answer from you about your Thursday block, and you have been in the operating room for 2 days. So she waits, then she gets busy, then it dies. Watch for the tell. When a task stalls repeatedly at the same handoff point, that handoff is the problem, not the person on either side of it. Ask the question directly in your next huddle. What are you waiting on from me right now? Then count how many hands go up. That number is your real bottleneck. And be honest about how often you are the handoff. In an owner-operated practice, the physician is usually the single most common blocker in the building because everything routes through the one person who is in a procedure room all day. Cause 4. Nothing happens when it is skipped. Every practice teaches its staff what actually matters, and it teaches by what gets noticed. If charts close late never come up, but a late lunch does, your team learns exactly what your priorities are. This is where owners get uncomfortable because they think consequences mean punishment. It does not. It means the miss gets seen and named calmly the same week it happens. Work that is measured and reviewed gets done. Work that disappears into a void does not. Nobody is lazy. They are responding rationally to the incentives you built without meaning to. The mechanism is simple. Anything you inspect on a schedule gets done on a schedule. Now the part nobody enjoys. You are a variable in this. If you override the schedule when you feel like it, your team learns the schedule is a suggestion. If you take a task back the first time, it is done imperfectly. You have taught your staff that persistence is optional because you will catch it. Every time you rescue a process, you buy a good afternoon and you sell a good year. The most expensive habit in a physician-owned practice is the owner who is faster at the task than the person who owns it. You are faster. That is exactly why you have to stop doing it. There is also a version of this that looks generous and is not. Doing the task quietly at night so nobody feels bad. Your team never learns it was missed, the standard silently drops, and you get more tired every quarter while telling yourself you are being a good boss. When the work still does not happen after you have removed the first 3 causes, have one conversation, not a lecture, 4 sentences. Here is what we agreed. Here is what happened. Help me understand the gap. What do you need to make this reliable? Then be quiet and let them answer. You will get one of 3 responses. They did not know it was theirs, which is your fault and fixable. They are blocked, which is also fixable. Or they knew, they could, and they did not. That third one is the only real people problem, and now you actually know it instead of guessing. Have that conversation in private the same week and write down what you agreed to at the end of it. Memory is not documentation, and a verbal agreement neither of you recorded will be 2 different agreements in a month. Practices resist documentation because it feels bureaucratic. Then a medical assistant gives notice and takes 9 years of undocumented process out the door with her, and you spend 6 months rebuilding what she knew. Do not write a manual. Write 1 page per role in the words your staff already uses. What this person owns. What good looks like for each item. Who they escalate to and when. 1 page. Have the person who does the job write the first draft because they know the actual steps, including the 4 workarounds they invented that you have never heard of. You edit. That takes an hour, not a quarter. Keep the pages somewhere your staff actually opens, not a folder on your desktop. If a new hire cannot find it on day 1 without asking you, it does not exist. There is one meeting worth protecting. 15 minutes, same time, every day, standing up. What is on the schedule today? What could go wrong today? What is stuck and who is unsticking it? That is the entire agenda. It works because it makes stalls visible within 24 hours instead of 24 days. If you run 3 locations, 1 huddle per site with the site lead and 1 weekly with the leads. Do not let it become a status theater where everyone reports that things are fine. The only question that matters is the third one. And if nobody ever says anything is stuck, they do not trust you yet. 15 minutes, 5 days a week is a little over an hour. It is the cheapest hour in the practice. One more thing about size. What works at 5, staff breaks at 15. At 5, you can hold every process in your head and patch it by walking around. At 15, you cannot see most of the work anymore, and the patching you used to do becomes the thing that hides the failures. That is the transition where owners conclude their team got worse. The team did not get worse. Your visibility did. The answer at that point is not more supervision. It is a named owner, a written standard, and a number you can look at without asking anyone how it is going. That is also the point where most practices need a real second in command. And the number in front of you is what tells you whether that hire is working. So here is the week. Pick the 3 things that keep falling through in your practice. For each one, write a single name, a 3-line standard, and how you will know within 7 days whether it happened. Then leave it alone for those 7 days and do not rescue it. What you learn from that one experiment is worth more than another round of hiring. And if you want a structured look at where your practice is actually leaking across mindset, marketing, management, and money, we built a free AI audit at practicescale.ai. It is a short survey, you get the analysis back, and there is no sales call attached to it. If this was useful, hit the like button so it reaches another practice owner. I will see you in the next one. Write the 3 names down today before the clinic gets loud.